Whether you are starting your own business or work for someone else's, there are many acronyms you may come across. We use acronyms to communicate information more quickly and more easily. In this video, I'm going to go through some common acronyms that you may come across in business or in the workplace. Of course, this can differ from job to job, profession to profession, but see if you know them all. Check your knowledge. Are there any here that are new to you? So just quickly, an acronym is a string of letters that represents words. So typically we take the first letter of each word and we use that to create the acronym. So for example, the BBC. BBC stands for British Broadcasting Corporation, but we just say BBC, the first letter of each word. It's quicker and easier and everyone recognizes the BBC. Hi, my name is Catherine. I am a business English teacher. I specialize in interview practice and practical vocabulary for the workplace. So if that is something you are interested in, make sure to subscribe. And if you learned something from this video, click like for me as well. I really appreciate it. ROI, or return on investment. This is used to measure the profit of an investment. So how much money or capital did you return from the initial investment? It is slightly different to profit, as profit usually refers to work you have done or you've completed something and received profit. ROI suggests an investment. You put money into something. You will often see people asking, what was the ROI? Or what's the expected ROI? They want to know the amount of return on their investment before they invest. KPI, Key Performance Indicator. This is a measurement of how well or successful a company or organization is performing. This can be measured in a variety of different ways. And often companies will choose their own KPIs, they set their own indicators, but these KPIs provide targets or goals for the team to aim for. They're created so that everybody in the organization understands what they're aiming for. Examples of key performance indicators may be sales goals, average transaction value, amount of products sold, amount of returning customers, lead response time, amount of new leads in a certain time, upsell percentage, etc. There are many different KPIs. Customer relationship management. CRM often refers to software and programs used to interact with customers, but it's not always limited to technology or software. Anytime an organization has to interact with the customer, the practices and guidelines that it follows are part of the CRM, Customer Relationship Management. This is an area that is constantly improving due to AI and software development. SEO, Search Engine Optimization. SEO is something that is thrown around a lot nowadays. It stands for Search Engine Optimization, and as the name suggests, you are optimizing or improving your ranking within search engines. So when someone Googles best cleaners in my area, who comes up first? What businesses come up first? Or when AI is Googled, which AI platform shows up first? SEO is now something that requires specialists to control and monitor and improve. So you will see a lot of positions nowadays looking for people or candidates specializing in search engine optimization. ASAP, or as soon as possible. This is an easy one, I think, but I have included it because for some people it may be the first time seeing this. ASAP means as soon as possible. We can say ASAP in daily conversation, so I would like that ASAP. It's a very normal thing to say. I'll be there ASAP. However, in written communication, in emails, sometimes it can come across rude if you write ASAP. I need that report ASAP. It's better in an email to write as soon as possible. Actually write it out. Of course, it depends who you're emailing. If it's someone that you email regularly and they know your style of talking, sure. But for the most part, ASAP comes across rude and it's better to write out as soon as possible. And as it suggests, as soon as possible means I need that as soon as possible, as soon as you are finished, as soon as it's ready, as soon as I can. EOD, end of day. End of day is often used in email communication to identify that something needs to be done or clarified or sent by the end of that day, that specific day. You may see this followed by a day. So for example, EOD Friday, end of day Friday. So you have until the end of day Friday. EOD Wednesday, you have until the end of Wednesday. Note that when we are talking about the end of day, we mean the end of the working day, not midnight. So if you say, I need that report by EOD, end of day, you mean the end of your working day today, so 5 or 6 p.m., whenever you finish work. SOP, or Standard Operating Procedure. This is another one that maybe you can guess from the name. Standard Operating Procedure means the step-by-step process that is standard within the company or organization you work for. Every time something is carried out, every time you contact a client, every time you close a sale, every time you reach out to a new lead, there is a step-by-step process, a standard operating procedure. This will differ from company to company. Some businesses may not even have standard operating procedures, but typically you see them to protect the employee, protect the business, so that if there are any disputes, they can go back to their SOP and check were all the right steps taken. P&L, profit and loss. I think we all know profit, self-explanatory, we hear it all the time. But together, profit and loss refers to the money or capital gained and the money or capital lost. So how can we increase the profit and how can we decrease the loss? Reducing loss, or to reduce loss, is to decrease the amount of money lost every quarter or every year. For example, this is a really basic example, but let's say a company uses premium quality paper every time they send a letter to a client. That's affecting their profit and loss. If they change to a cheaper, less premium paper, that would have a positive effect on their profit and their loss would be less. So profit and loss together is how we can increase profit whilst reducing loss. SWOT. A SWOT analysis or SWOT test stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A SWOT evaluation can be done internally or externally. They are a way of identifying how a business can improve, how they can stand out, and what are their competitors doing that they are not doing. In one of my marketing positions, part of my interview was to complete a SWOT analysis test on the competitor. So identify their strengths, their weaknesses, the opportunities where they could grow, and their threats. What are their competitors doing that they are not doing? B2B, business to business. This refers to one business selling their product to another business. Their target customer is another business. So think of software or tech, office supplies or office furniture. The business creating those products, their target customer is another business. It's not an individual person, it's another business. Typically, they sell in bulk. Bulk means a lot of product at once. B2C, so business to consumer. Maybe you can guess this one already. B2C is a business that sells directly to consumer, business to consumer. The consumer is the person that is going to be using that product, so you and me. Think about electronics, toiletries, fashion. We don't buy in bulk. We don't buy a vast majority. We buy 1 or 2 items when we need them. So they create products to sell directly to the average person. They sell directly to us. So they are a business to consumer. Think of Apple. Apple is business to consumer. But Microsoft, however, will have a business to business section of its business setup because it's supplying product to other businesses or it's supplying software to other businesses, whereas Apple is only creating product for consumers. CTA, call to action. We hear this phrase a lot in marketing, especially in email marketing or social media marketing. An email with a call to action is an email that is asking the reader to do something at the end of it. Click a link, visit a website, donate money, respond to the email, a call to do something, a call to action. A social media post with a call to action is asking the viewer to do something other than just look at the post. So again, donate, click a link, visit a website, respond to the post. You are asking the viewer to perform an action, a call to action. CTR, click-through rate. If you have a YouTube channel yourself or you have a website, you'll know this one already. So your click-through rate refers to the percentage of people who click on a specific link or follow instruction in your email or advertisement compared to the amount of people viewing it. So percentage. If you have 100 people viewing your email and only 20 click the link in your email, your click-through rate is 20%. If you have a high click-through rate, that means a lot of people are doing what you're asking them in the email, in the advert. If you have a low click-through rate, you can look at your marketing, look at your email and ask yourself, what do we need to change to make people click on this or visit this or do this thing that we are asking them? Your click-through rate and call to action go nicely hand in hand. CPA, cost per acquisition. We typically see this in e-commerce. I talk about e-commerce in another one of my videos, but e-commerce briefly is anything sold online. So an online store. Cost per acquisition is roughly how much it costs to get a website visitor into a paying customer or an active customer. They're filling out a form or downloading something or buying something. So from step 1 to the final step, how much does it cost to get them to do that? And we figure out the cost by looking at marketing campaigns. How much did they cost? How many people did they reach? And how many of those people then followed what we were asking them to do? How many of them bought something? How many of them clicked on something? How many of them entered their information into your database? See it as the cost per person interested. Final one today, MTD, month to date. This is seen a lot in written format, in reports, in emails, and we use MTD, month to date, when the month is not yet finished. So for example, if you are writing a report on the 21st of June and you're sending it out, you can say this is all of our figures or all of our sales figures, month to date, MTD. The understanding is the month is not yet finished. There's still a chance to improve, to make more sales, to make more leads. But up until this point, this is what we have, month to date. So that's it for today. I'm going to do a part 2 to this acronyms video as there are hundreds of acronyms used in business. And like I said at the beginning of the video, every business uses a different amount of acronyms, or they have their own acronyms, or there are some that they don't use. It just depends where you work, but having an idea of what they mean will definitely help you on a day-to-day basis. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, or evening, and I will see you in the next video.